How we doing, guys? Richie, the Jordan Patrick Show here. As promised, I was coming back. We are here to do a preview of this week's NFL Divisional Round playoffs. Here with me, very good friend of the show, my friend Idris. Didn't know he was in Florida. Kind of surprised me. Came through. We're hanging at the crib talking some football. Sounds like a perfect day to me, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
So we are here. Idris, introduce yourself. What's on your mind, bud?
Hey, it's Idris Salam. Big time Giants fan, as you know I am. Cowboy trash talker. And I'm just happy that the Cowboys lost. Life couldn't be any better in the sports world.
I know one of my co-hosts wouldn't share your same energy, but he's not here. So have at the talk. Have fun with it. We're going to go over these 4 games. We're going to each speak on some of the dynamics of each team and who's going to win. Game 1 on Saturday, we got the Cincinnati Bengals heading out to Tennessee to take on the Titans, the 1 seed. Got 2 quarterbacks, one more prolific than the other. Joe Burrow against Ryan Tannehill. Idris, how do you feel about this game? I'm going to let you go first on this one.
The Bengals going to be in for something this time. The Titans are, they're well rested. They're at home, and I think they're going to pound the ball. They're going to run it, just run it right down the Bengals' throat. I seen things in the Bengals Raiders game last week that told me that they're going to have some problems. That Titans line is going to get at Burrow. Burrow's smart, especially 2-year quarterback. He's a very smart quarterback, but he's going into Tennessee now, and he doesn't have that Cincinnati crowd behind him. And it's going to be a whole lot tougher than it's been. This is the playoffs. It's a whole different game. So I'm saying 10 points. It may be more than that. I just don't think it's going. I don't think it's going to be a close game.
So do you think a still improving but far from perfect Cincinnati Bengals O-line could be part of the factor here? Why the Bengals don't get it done?
That could be it. I just think Joe Mixon is their man, and you take him out the game. Then you got to say, okay, bro, you got to win this. And that's kind of hard because Mixon can run. The guy, and, he have P. Ryan to back him up. They both play together at Oklahoma. So that's a good little 1-2 punch. I think with the rest Tennessee got and Mike Vrabel being the coach, this is a coach just, come on, he came from New England as a player. He got the chips. He's been there. He knows what it's like.
Yeah, if he coached under Belichick, which he didn't, even though he learned a lot from him, the narrative of the coaching tree would have been a lot different.
Right. So I just think it's going to be tough, and I'm not too keen on Eli Apple.
No.
Since we're Giants fans, so we know what Apple brings, and he can be toasted easily because he plays soft coverage, and I just don't think it's going to be a close game. I think Tennessee's going to blow them out, and that's that.
All right. So if you're saying a exact final, what do you got for a final?
I'm going 28-14. Let's say 27.
So pretty sound victory for the Titans, in your opinion. I'm actually going to differ with you on this one. You make some good points about the atmosphere, about the rest that they got. Now, Derrick Henry's making a return in this game, which could be both good and bad. I mean, you're talking about the best running back in the NFL. No offense, Jonathan Taylor, but that was King Henry's throne before he got the injury. Ultimately, and it's similar to kind of how I look at with it being a quarterback-driven league, I love Vrabel as a coach. I've spoken very highly of him on many of these shows, but ultimately in this game, I think what could hold Tennessee back is if Ryan Tannehill has to make certain gains through the air.
Right.
Throughout the course of the season, the Titans have had issues in that receiving corps. Now, Derrick Henry and slowing him down is no easy task. But if there was ever a time where he could be a little vulnerable, I would say it's first game back. I'm looking for a close game here. I wouldn't be blown away if the Titans won, but I am picking the Bengals. And I'm going to go Bengals 27, Titans 23. I think you're going to have a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes from Ryan Tannehill, a guy who usually takes very good care of the football. So we differ on this one, which is good because you don't always want to agree with, people on the pod. It makes it a little more interesting. But honestly, I think we both make good points about why this game could go either way. Matchup to look for, though, and guys that are not necessarily prolific. Both tight ends are going to be a factor in this game.
Cincinnati is missing, what's his name? Joku? Is that his name? I can't remember. But he's gone. He got hurt last week. But he's gone. He's not playing. I think that's who it was. Joku? I think that's who it was. But he's gone. So that's defense.
It's tough because you got one team that's already in their playoff flow. You have another team, and sometimes that week off isn't always beneficial. That remains to be seen. And it kind of leads into the next game because I think sometimes, even if it's a tougher road, not having the week off and just going right to battle could be beneficial, and that will be revealed. We got the San Francisco 49ers. This is an old rivalry, too, based on recent history. You got the Steve Young, Brett Favre days. You got a little bit of a sprinkle of Aaron Rodgers against Alex Smith / Colin Kaepernick, a little more recent history, and also Jimmy Garoppolo, who defeated AR-12 in a title game not too long ago. I'm going to start it off here. Green Bay Packers have been regular season darlings for a long time.
Yep.
And it's very important for them to solidify a lead and a game flow early because one strength of the 49ers, at least in my opinion, is that if they get a substantial lead, say in 8, 9, 10 points, 2 possessions essentially, they can be tough to come back against. They proved that when they won the NFC a couple of years ago until they met Mahomes. That was a fourth quarter collapse. Great quarterback play. It is what it is. But Packers have a lot to prove. Aaron Rodgers might not be back. This could possibly be his last run in Green Bay. Devontae Adams and him are very tight. They might end up together somewhere else. Keys to the game. Packers have to get up early. They have to limit Deebo Samuel. They have to limit San Francisco's ability to stretch the field. I don't necessarily think Green Bay's in trouble if the Niners could run the ball efficiently because holding teams to field goals is key this time of the year. I do think the Packers are good enough on defense to do that. I'm looking for a spirited effort out of the 49ers. They're well coached. But it's in Lambeau. This team lost in a very bitter way last year. I think they want to get back to that title game and prove that last year was a bit of a fluke, a bit of a letdown. I'm going Green Bay 34, 49ers 24, and I don't think the score is going to be as close as it looks. I think the Niners might cash in on some garbage points down the stretch. But same thing as the previous game. I trust Aaron Rodgers a lot more than Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's a quarterback-driven league. I got to go with the home team here, especially given the weather. And the crowd now. No more pandemic. Still pandemic. You're getting the fans back. That was something that Green Bay sorely missed last year.
I'm with you on that. I have more 35-21. I think Deebo Samuel, I think he'll do what he does.
Oh, great player.
And I think say again?
Great player.
Yeah. I think he'll do what he does. He'll get his yards. But we're in Lambeau, and Garoppolo, I think any other place, if he was in San Francisco, I think he'll step it up. But they're going to Green Bay, and like you said, the pandemic. Lambeau Field is going to be jumping. It's going to be cold. And that's Aaron Rodgers. That's Devontae Freeman. That's Green Bay.
Yeah.
And 49ers, they're going to have to get out early. Because if they get behind, Rodgers, AR-12, he smells that blood in the water, man. Once he has you, it's like, you're not coming back. Once he gets ahead of you, you're not coming back. He's going to put the nail in the coffin. And yeah, I'm calling 35-21, and I think it won't be as close as the score says, even though it's still 2 touchdowns. I just think this is possibly Aaron Rodgers' last run, and I know he wants to go out with a bang. Last year, he missed it. The year before, he wants to go out and say, hey, I got this last title for Green Bay. That's it. But anything's possible. The 49ers, they're no scrubs. They went to Dallas this past weekend. They beat them. We can say we want to say about Dallas, and I'm the biggest Dallas hater out there, but Dallas is still Dallas. And that defense they have is crazy. But they went in there and they beat them. So it's not, inconceivable. I just don't think they're going to do it.
Briefly, when I was doing my rundown of the previous round a couple hours ago, I think I used the word bullied. And that's essentially what the 49ers did in not the easiest environment to win in. I get it. The new Cowboy Stadium might not have the same atmosphere as the old Texas Stadium because it's more of a fan-friendly thing for everyone to go to. But at the end of the day, you're talking about the biggest venue in the country. And even if you're getting some of your own fans sprinkled in there, that's got to be tough for a visiting offense. And not to mention, it's a little intimidating. It's the Star. You got that beam of sun coming in there. They purposely, the architecture to keep that in there. That's kind of like a staple of Dallas stadiums. But no, an impressive win for the 49ers. Damn good season, too. But I do think that their run ends this week in Lambeau, and with a good conscience. With my Giants dead, not in the playoffs, I cannot go against my father's team. Right. Even if I was being a little too much of a reach with this, which in this case is not. Got to go for the Green Bay Packers here. I want to see Rodgers and Brady again. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers. I've seen that shit too many years when he was a Detroit Lion. I don't want to see that. I want to see Brady. I want to see Rodgers. I want to see the battle of the 12s. So I guess you can figure who I'm going to pick in the next game.
Yeah. Well, for the next game, I'm going with the Rams, man. I'm going with the Rams. What I seen last night, what they did to Arizona, and Arizona was on a slide, but God, they came out there and they just went for it right out the gate. They just went for it. And Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He's gonna do what he does. But no Chris Godwin. I don't think Leonard Fournette is ready.
Well, Fournette did play, but it's not. But he's not. I don't think you're getting, to your point, the healthiest Fournette.
Right. And who knows what'll happen? He may come in there this weekend and just run over everyone, catch a few passes, and just do his thing. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me if the Buccaneers won. You're at home, you got Brady, and anything Brady brings to the table is a whole meal. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm picking the Rams in an upset. I'm going to go 28-27. I think it'll be close. OBJ, this is showtime for him. and I think he's gonna come up big. I think he's gonna come up big. So I would like to see Brady and Rodgers, yes. I gotta go with the Rams, man. I'm gonna eat this crow if I have to. Hopefully I won't. Yeah.
I mean, listen, every point you made was super valid as to why the Rams could and should win. I mean, they do have 2 consecutive wins against the Bucs. One over there, one in LA over the last 2 seasons. They're healthier. I don't think that's up for debate. But as I keep saying in these last 2 previous games, quarterback-driven league, and there's so many more variables than just the 2 guys that are playing the position.
Right.
And I know in Tampa's case, they got to lean on Brady probably a lot more than in LA's case that they would have to lean on Stafford.
Right.
Both 2 very good defenses, both 2 very well-coached teams. Linehan's not too many years removed from playing Brady in a Super Bowl with a different quarterback. Right. Arians is a damn good coach. We could probably all agree to that.
Oh, yeah.
I got to go with Brady here.
Mm-hmm.
And if not for anything that has to do with the health of either team, I think more so the fact that Tom Brady, and I mentioned this earlier on my previous video, has he ever lost 3 consecutive games to anybody? I know the Saints, he had that playoff win in between the 2 sweeps. Mm-hmm. I don't believe this man. Wait a minute.
He lost 3 games to the Giants. I'm going to tell you how he did this.
Yes, you just. Uh-huh. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's 2 Super Bowls, and they beat him during the season.
In Gillette. I forgot about the regular season game. And I'm saying in my brain, did they meet in between that? No, they didn't. So to my knowledge, the only team that Eli Manning has lost 3 games to is our team.
Right.
3 in a row, I should say. Right. He has a winning record against us. Victories over Collins, victory over Jones, regular season wins over Eli.
Right.
For the career, Eli's 3-2 against him. But yeah, kind of big up our team without really meaning to. He ain't playing the Giants this week. And it's a ever running meme, but I always say if you want to beat Tom Brady, sign Eli Manning for a playoff game. I always say that. Get him off the couch, get him off the Manning cast. But his days come. We love Eli. He's retired. Yeah. It's gonna be a great game. I think 2 defenses are gonna come out, but I do think that the scoring could be on the up, mainly for the fact that I think these defenses could score some points in this game potentially. I'm gonna go in a very close one. Tampa Bay 27, LA Rams 26. Ryan Suckup, who's not exactly the household name of kickers. I got him kicking late. What's your final? I know you picked the Rams. What's your final?
28-27.
Okay, so basically we got this being close and both decided by a point. So we're going to see how this
Ryan Suckup, to reiterate my point on, remember, he was Mr. Irrelevant. The last player drafted. Guy had the Super Bowl. Yeah. Who knew,
He might be really relevant if my prediction comes to fruition.
Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Tampa Bay won because Brady is Brady, and he's going to find a way,
And just like with it's hard for me to pick against the guy. And believe you me, I don't have any bad for Tom Brady. Maybe if I was a Jet fan instead of being a Giant fan, I would have a little more heat towards him. Or if I was a Steeler fan, or just a fan of a team who hasn't had his number. As a Giant fan, the more he wins, I think it looks better for us. And believe me, we'll look for anything right now, given the state of our organization.
Coughlin was 5-3 against Brady as a Giants coach. So the more he wins, the more it says, well, dang, Eli beat him twice in the Super. It's a big game. When it came down to it, Eli beat him twice.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
There's a lot of history involved. Definitely a lot of history. That Week 17 classic where they went undefeated for the regular season, and that was followed by another classic where we beat them in the bowl, their first loss.
right?
Fast forward 2011, 2 victories over him. Give it back to 07 when you play on a 4-year slate, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Go figure. I know a lot of stuff, and that slipped my mind. So I'm glad you brought that to my attention because I said, damn, he lost to somebody 3 in a row. Lo and behold, it's our team. Sure.
That's why they say if you want someone to beat Brady, call Eli. He's the only one.
Like I said, I love our history, but I hope we have more relevant new stuff to talk about in the near future because there's only so often you could go back and keep reaching. We're one of the proudest organizations in the NFL, but we are definitely under construction. So God willing, and it's funny, these 2 teams right here that are in the final game have some personnel upstairs that might be joining our team in the near future. But enough about that. On to the game. Outside of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, these are the other 2 best quarterbacks in the league as far as I'm concerned.
This is going to be a hell of a game.
This is the game of the week, and there's some good ones, but this is the one. They played earlier this year. Buffalo had the momentum. I do not recall the reason why there was such a delay at halftime. I believe it had something to do with inclement weather. But at any rate, I think that it benefited the home team. The Chiefs ended up outplaying them in the second half, outlasting them, winning.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where I wholeheartedly believe the team with the ball last is going to win the game.
I agree.
I think the Bills are going to pull it off. I think it's Josh Allen's time. Both of these teams can do it all on offense. I guess the one critique on Buffalo could be that maybe their running game isn't up to par, even though Allen is a hell of an efficient runner at the quarterback position. In KC, they have a little bit more going on at running back. Dawson Knox is kind of turning into a poor man's Travis Kelce, a poor man's George Kittle. He's balling. Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, you got star power all over the place. Ultimately, the difference in this game, in my opinion, Buffalo has a better defense. They got a taste of playing this team on the big stage last year in the AFC title game. And I do think that heartbreaking loss might benefit Buffalo this time around. Oh, man. Coaching standpoint, you still got to give Andy Reid the edge. He also has a genius next to him in the form of Eric Bieniemy. Both those men are very responsible with calling the plays. But I still think this comes down to defense. And while I don't think the Chiefs are nearly as bad on that side of the ball as they get spoken about in that way, Buffalo is top 5. Actually, they're the best defense in the league.
They are.
They outed the number 2 defense last week in the Patriots. I think Buffalo knows that this is a window, and it's going to close rather quickly if they don't get it done because things change very quick in the NFL with contracts, with guys moving out, with guys coming in. And you don't always get promised these opportunities again. Chiefs have been on a hell of a run. You're talking about looking to make a 4th straight AFC title game if they prevail. And if they won, I wouldn't be blown away. But I am going 34-31 Buffalo Bills in overtime.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I agree with everything you said. And I'm going with you. I'm 33-31 Buffalo.
Oh, you got them too?
Yes, and I love KC. I said the Chiefs are the first team I seen live as a 9-year-old. The first team. And I almost became a team. You mentioned it. Spags is a great defensive coordinator, but that defense has holes over the middle and going deep. They're not that good defending the pass. And Josh Allen will make you think because you don't know if he's going to run or he's going to throw it. And he's going to pull those safeties up and he's going to hit them. Yeah. I'm going 33-31, but I want to say 33-24. I just think Buffalo is going to put it on them. And I think KC is going to have to keep – I think they're going to have to keep playing catch-up. I love Mahomes, and I know he does what he does. But God, freaking Buffalo is just, you don't know how they're going to hit you, man. On defense, you don't know what they're going to. They can throw the ball, they can run the ball. You got a quarterback who just, you don't know what he's going to do. Look what he did to New England last week.
And that's the other thing too, because Allen, while they ask for him to do a lot and carry the team in a lot of ways, what I think gets lost, because defense isn't exactly sexy and defense isn't exactly what gets the casual viewers in. People tend to forget that Buffalo's defense is really that good. And Allen could afford to have an occasional off game and still get the W. Yeah. And I don't necessarily think that Patrick Mahomes has the same luxury.
He has
that
to
could
ball.
go a long way in this game.
Yeah, he has to ball. Mahomes has to ball.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's why I'm rolling with Buffalo. I mean, yeah. In fact, I'll say 33-27, man. I'm gonna drop it down a little bit, 33-27. I just think KC's gonna have. I think Buffalo's gonna jump on them early, and I think KC's just gonna have to play catch up the whole game. I just feel that way.
Now, Idris, before we check out of here, by the way, I really appreciate you being on here with me because, you know, it was a cool surprise. You told me you were in Florida.
Hey.
Not my addy, you came over. We've been talking football, having a really good time. You know, two diehard Giant fans, you know, catching up. Pretty awesome. You know, both originally from New York. But to lighten it up and get away a little bit from the seriousness of this playoff stuff, do understand that you have a family member that coaches for a team that maybe you don't like that much. Do you guys kind of go at it a little? Like, I'm curious. Because, you know, this is a guy that's in the league and, you know, I'm just curious. You being a Giant fan, and if you care to share, you could tell where he coaches
at. All right, my two cousins are Emory Moorhead, used to play for the 85 Bears.
Yes.
Former Giant, drafted a tight end out of Colorado. But he was a running back in Colorado, number 47, as I call him. And Aaron Moorhead, the receivers coach for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Who?
Don't worry. If he hears this podcast, I'm going to send it to him. We go at it. He'll pop up when I trash the Eagles.
I wonder how that goes. Like when it comes to family members, and obviously you're a huge Giants fan, and this man has a professional obligation to stick it to our team.
Look here. When he got hired, I was the first one that went in on him. I went right to his Facebook page and I posted all my New York Giants shirts. I said, look here, man. We ain't having that in this family. You know, I don't want to see no Eagles popping up your board. So me and him was going back and forth, And he was quiet this season. He didn't say much to me. Because I didn't say much to him because, you know, the Giants, how we were.
Yeah, and I get it.
But I threw my shot at him. He came back at me. So, Aaron Moorhead, you need to come on the show and talk to this man. I'm calling you out.
Listen, you know how you say that you are the biggest troll when it comes to, you know, digging to the Cowboys? I myself happen to be a troll when it comes to the Eagles. Because, they're literally my least favorite team in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles. But I think it's cool, you know, and I imagine that there's got to be some cool talks in terms of seeing the game in a different way when you're rubbing elbows, obviously, in your family with somebody that's on that professional level. Whether he's coaching for the Eagles, the G-Man, anybody, that's cool. There's no doubt about it. That's got to be a different kind of level of conversation. And if he ever wants to join us, he is always more than welcome, and I will be on my best behavior because I hate those Eagles.
His father is the mediator because his father's a Chicago Bear, and that's his son. So, you know, but he'll say something to defend his son. But he does it real slick about it, you know. But he's gonna defend his son because he's gonna say something about the Giants, you know. But yeah, it's cool.
It looks like, oh, here we go. We're back. Yeah, for a moment, screen went black, but we were still able to hear you.
Okay.
Not a problem. No, Idris, bro. Thank you so much, man, for being here. This was great. Okay. I mean, we had a great time with you when you joined us as a fourth party from your residence, having you at the house. And I know you mentioned that you're kind of checking out the area in general and possibly for future endeavors. But thank you, bud. It was really a pleasure to hang out with you today and to have you on our show. And you are always welcome.
Always, man. It was fun. Like I said, there was no way I was going to come through Florida and not give you a shout out. I'd have felt bad going back up 95. I said, what is this guy in the Balls right in this neighborhood? So, hey.
You're better than me, bro, because I'm not going to front. Sometimes when I go back home, I'm kind of trying to just kind of like be under the radar, but I really appreciate it. And believe me, my two co-hosts, Jordan and Elliot alike, both very happy to hear you would join us on the show.
Always, man. Always, always.
We are out, man. Enjoy this week of the playoffs. And I'm looking forward to it, man. We got a lot of action coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun, bro.
Yeah.
And we're going to wrap it up here. And Idris and I are going to continue to converse a little outside. But as always, it's a pleasure to do this. Something I'm real passionate about, especially when it's football season. My favorite sport. But have a good day, everyone. And I don't think I'll be back today. This is my second video today. I think I'm going to chill it out now. But have a great day, everyone. And, Jordan, he was on daddy duty today. And I get it, man. Family first, family always. And he's having a good day with his beautiful daughter. And that's what it's about, too. So, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Take care.